All right. Yes, sir, Norman. Good, Joseph. Good, good, good. Well, I do appreciate it. Lots of new faces here today, that's for sure, or names anyway. John said, Rob, sound is good. Trading has been great today. Yep, it's been an interesting day. I'll say that. All right, fantastic. Good, good, good. And we got people still pouring in here. We're pushing near capacity of the room. So, all right, so let's go ahead and jump in, guys. I got a bunch of stuff to get through here before I get ready to leave on my airplane today. Not my airplane, but I am not in Atlanta yet, Joseph. That's where I'm headed. I've actually got a flight this afternoon. I get in about 6:30-ish is when I land tonight. So that's why I postponed till tomorrow the E-mini Trader Talk, just because of my timing of getting in. Even though we've got a car rental there for us, it's pushing it that if I'm a little late, we're going to be late for the class. So it's better to do it just tomorrow night afterwards. How you doing, Brenda? Good to see you. All right, guys, so coming up on Thursday of this week, Monster Market Movers, 2-hour online workshop. Then on April 26th is the next one. Baltimore, Cleveland, and Indy are the 3 events I'm teaching in April. Obviously, the 2-day Traders Camp, for those of you that have been asking about me leaving, is coming up this week down in Atlanta, so I'm excited about that. The next one is June 2nd and 3rd, just not sure where it's going to be taught. We're looking at Baltimore, we're looking at Chicago, we're looking at Philly, so we've got some feelers out right now to see what we can do. Of course, you got Power Hour today, and guys, Traders Chat coming up on Wednesday, April 6th, 8 to 10 p.m. So those of you that are in the Market Insights that didn't see it yesterday in my update, video update, you see the date right there. Excellent. So here's my follow us page, guys. If you want to follow Better Trades, follow me. Here's the way to do it. If you do choose to ask to friend request me on Facebook, you're going to need to send me a note, an email, a message of who you are, because I don't accept people that I don't know, and I may not recognize the picture of your kids or your dog or the picture of you from 35 years ago, right? So make sure you send that up to me. And then let's go ahead and take care of our disclaimer. Basically, it says, me, Rob, am not an advisor. I cannot legally tell you to buy or sell a stock. You know what? It's just against the law. The SEC, which the Securities and Exchange Commission, they're required for me to be licensed in order to do so. I am not, and I do not want to be. So if you find a candidate, indicator, trade setup, something, anything you like here today, my suggestion, just paper trade it first. Paper trade the daylights out of it before ever putting 1 penny of real money into the trade setup or indicator, and then and only then would you do so if it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. I keep something in mind. Because I am not an advisor, that means I am not under trading restrictions. That means that I may choose to enter or exit a trade at any given time without prior notice. All right, let's go ahead and take that puppy down. Fantastic. So guys, I want to start off first with the S&P 500, get a little overview of what's going on there. We're barely up right now, just shy of 1 point on the S&P 500 today. And if you look at the chart, let's see, let me grab a 5-minute instead of a 1. So if we look at the chart today, you can see into Friday we had a nice climb going on once we finally had this little triple top pattern that we surpassed. 1, 2, 3. Actually, there should have been one line there, but once we broke out of that pattern there on Friday, right there, right? We got that breakout, so it's a nice continuation climb going on in there, and then of course it's happening right along the moving average. A quick gap up today, and then we have now put in a lower high, lower low, and now another lower high. So if you look at it, we have a high, another high, and what could potentially be another lower high. We're not sure yet. When I say we're not sure, the stock's moving sideways right now, so there's a possibility that it could just break out of this and it continues from this leg moving higher. But that right there, about that 2039 level, That's going to be the key. Do we actually break that level or not? If not, potentially setting up for that lower high still. Now, it was a higher low in here, right? So things are kind of off based on that low. The overall pattern still does show that it's got a bearish connotation to it. If we look here and duplicate this line, it's not the low, but it's still staying within that downtrend. So that key, you know, right there, that line, that break is where it's going to all fall down under, right there on the S&P 500. All right, so let me resize this. Fantastic. Let's go take a quick look at the Dow, of where the Dow has been so far today. Just resize this, and let's get this one in play. So the Dow has kind of done the same thing, but that came in from right about 4 a.m. as Europe opened up. The Dow has been just dramatically down, and you could see until that initial move, which was about 9:15 this morning, where it started that big thrust to the downside, we got another move back up and another big thrust down and another continuation pattern in there. So if we look, and we look for an ABC pattern. So if we go and start from where this run started down to where it ended, bottom of that wick, we push up. I'm just going to drag it out to the right so it extends. We push up, and this is the ABC, guys. I taught this one a couple of weeks ago here. We started out here from A, we went to B, and then C is the highest retracement. And if we look, this green line right here is a 100% extension off of this line. So it takes this dimension, takes the retracement, and presses out various levels of potential drop in there. The next one all the way down here, so we're nowhere near that at this point. But we did have a 100% retracement go on in there, right? And I just renamed this as the ABC tool, right? There's also an AB equals CD, right? So if we did, let's do it this way. Let me take that off. Let's do this one now. So same scenario, A down to B up to C. It only has 100% retracement in it. So it's the AB equals CD tool. So we created one right inside of eSignal, even though they don't have the tool built in, we built it ourselves. We added this in ourselves. So great little move, great pattern. But here we are, 10 after 12, and the market's just gone sideways. And there's not a whole lot happening here. This is the Dow. I'd be a little cautious here. If you are going to take a bearish trade, that 417 is a great potential target. Oh, wait, that's about 7 ticks away. There's not a lot of wiggle room here, guys. So I would be very cautious. Well, what if it breaks to 17? Well, if it does, you're looking at, 400 maybe. Let's see, 417, 423. Yeah, it's just not a lot of room, guys. Not a lot of room whatsoever. So just be very careful. Oh, it's actually not 17, it's 07, sorry. It's just not a lot of room in there at all. So just be cautious if you're trying to take that bearish trade. It's a good scalp, potentially, but that's all it is a scalp trade. And this is on the Dow. All right, so, okay, so guys, let's go ahead and do this. This is the time in the workshop where I normally ask you to tell me the stocks you want me to take a look at. And the best way that I find to teach is to trade, right? So we go through, look at the candidates, analyze them. Keep your eyes on that YM, guys. If you're looking for a potential rollover, there it is at 421. If you're looking for just 5 or 8 ticks to the downside, there's potential for it. So go ahead in the questions box and type in the symbols that you guys want me to take a look at. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Brenda was right in there with her list. Oh, there we go, guys. Look, 18 from 21. That's 3-point move already. All right, so let me go ahead and first one, so let me get a different template here. We'll take the 5-minute chart. Google was the first one Brenda had asked for. All right, Google has been an interesting one to say the least, right? Let me see why. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and analyze this one a little bit. Well, let's actually, you know what? Let me take us into the daily chart first. So we look at the daily chart of Google, looking for the move. Let's see. Right about here at low. I'm going to measure right up to that top right there. And then we're going to do an auto extend. Just going to let it extend that automatically. So guys, that's the big picture of the fibs, right? And I can back it off a little so we can see the numbers easier. But that's the bigger view of the Fibonacci there. That little pullback was a great retracement. Actually, we had one right down to the 618, a 1, 2, 3 line bounce. We came back again, 1, 2 line bounce, and then we've channeled in there a little bit, and now we're back up through that 2, 3, 6. So if we take it in there a little bit then, Brenda, and take a further look, you can see on the daily chart we closed right at that 8-period moving average yesterday, you know, Friday's close. We were right there, and today it looks like we took a little gap up. Now I'm a little bit concerned of being too early to the party here with Google. So we decided to watch it another day and possibly just day trade it. And with the way the market is just fluctuating today, there's not a lot happening. Nice gap up, but that gap, see guys, here's the, let me do this. Here is the mistake that some traders will make is you go and look at the S&P 500. Go look at the 5-minute chart. You go look at the S&P 500, and this morning, right on the open, it gapped up. There's your gap right there. From yesterday's close, Friday's close, to right here was the open, and then a quick push to the upside. Here's the thing. You want to look at an overnight chart where the market's been having activity because the SPX doesn't have trading activity. The index starts at 9:30. The futures, so in this case, the ES does start earlier. The ES is trading, you know, almost 24 hours a day. And if we look at the overall pattern of the market in here, right, from 4 o'clock this morning, you could see that dramatic move down. Now, if we just go and highlight that 9:30 open, there we go. So there's our 9:30 open. You could see, even though the SPX was pushing higher, the mini size future contract was dropping on the S&P, and the futures are going to drive the index, guys. So as we're watching what's going on here, as you see that push down, that move up on SPX was a little head fake. And if you found any resistance at this level, and I don't know if we're going to find it on a 5-minute chart. Let's see. Possibly. A little up here. Let's get rid of this fib. We don't need that any longer. All right, so let's stretch back a little further. I'm looking to see, was today's open give us any resistance anywhere or support? And look what we find. Actually, we're going to just use that line right there. Right here, resistance, support, 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 back to support again, and yet again and again. And then we came right back in today let's see, the high of the morning on that candle, which actually was the high of the day, the high is 2040.74, and that line is 2040.48. So it looks like we pushed just slightly up above it. We did. Just slightly above that line is where we were. Right up there. So we got to it, guys, and that gap up gave you an opportunity to take that bearish trade. So as you saw that, and you're sitting here watching the ES, which is the E-mini futures, and you're watching this just drift down all day long, and that first candle is bearish on the futures, yet the index is moving bullish, it might cause you to at least back up and say, ooh, hold on a second, what's happening? What's happening? Right, before you go ahead and move forward and place that trade. All right, cool. So let's take it back now into Google. Let me just get rid of the data window. That window just makes a very busy screen if you leave it on a chart. Yeah, so Debbie said Europe is mostly closed today, bank holiday. Yes, exactly, Debbie. But it may not be the Europe that the European market is driving it, but that European session, that 4 a.m. was just bearish the entire night, the entire, all right up until when we opened up this morning. All right, so we look at Google, guys. I'd like to see the push higher, and I'm looking for a move on Google up to about 793 or so on the upside. And let's see, actually there's a Fibonacci inside of here, guys, so right about 772 there should be a horizontal line in there. So 772 is our first target, and then 793 is our next. If we violate this 236, this hesitation point, then I'd look for that push back down to that 382, that 726. So big move potential on the downside. Guys, look how much Google has dropped off since the beginning of February. We're trading $26 a day is our move. And you can see that down here, right? Look over where my mouse is moving, where the hand is, or there's the hand. And you go all the way over to the right here, look at the line, and it's about 26 bucks. Right now we're at 12.69. So very small, half of where we were at on the average intraday move. So that's a little disheartening for Google, that's for sure, to be only moving 12 bucks a day. All right, next one was ISRG, Intersurgical. All right, so let's go get a little more time in there. And guys, when we look at the chart, it's pretty clear to me anyway that I see a nice move from here to right there. Right, so great move in there, great potential. We're sitting right at the moving average. This is a place that I really do like my trades a lot. Now look, this is a $500 stock. ISRG has made phenomenal strides, right? 340 all the way up to 500. When you go further back, guys, we don't need to go that far back, but let's see. You go back to, where are we? Right about 2013, and that's where you're at, that $350 level. So it really has pushed nicely to the upside. If we can get this pressed to the upside today, and you've got to determine if you're aggressive enough to take that trade today, then you're looking for the move from 584 right up to about 600. Right? And we need to add, since we're here, we need to add a line right at 600. And I'm never going to get it exact, so it's always easier to just go in and adjust it. All right, so red dot dash line says it's a 100-point level. So we've got a confluence at that top, which is 597.34 and 600. We've pressed up into it multiple times, right? This push, 2 days later, and yes, Thursday. Thursday was that last push up, and we're back down at the moving average. So give me the bounce off that 584, and you're looking for the move to 597. So you've got about a 10, 11-point move by the time you take the trade and exit out. You got about 10 or 11-point potential on this one to the upside. If it does violate that 236, guys, down through that lower fib line, look for the move to 560 and 550 are the two downside targets there. Price line, the negotiator. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me pull back a little bit. So we're going to draw a Fibonacci on here. Right there. This is what we're working off of in the market insights right there. So at least we're on the same page. Right? So price line, we had price line yesterday. We called it neutral. So we just said day trade, and what's happened? It failed. Good failure. The entry might have been taken as it broke through that 91 and a half level. Right? And right now it's at 76. So the way we take day trades, a neutral trade, neutral bias is a day trade, is we wait for it to bounce or violate that key clear and concise entry. In this case, 1291.44, and then we look for the move down. S&P was pushing down, price line's pushing down. Great opportunity to jump on the bandwagon for it. So nice potential on price line. It's got some hesitation around 1250 area, but we're at 74, guys. So those of you that trade price line, you know this thing could easily run $30 or $40 in a direction, easily. Doesn't matter that it only moves $29 a day. 30, 40, 50 bucks is possible for this position. And not very long ago, it was at the point of 53.30 a day. Excellent. All right. And then Amazon. Brenda, you just hit all the biggies today. Let's go take a look at Amazon. We have a fib drawn on Amazon already from last week. Excuse me. Let's see if we can't highlight that and bring that out. Okay. So we got a little bit of a triple top type pattern. Let's see. Scott, are you here today? I don't know if I saw you in here or not today. So guys, what for those of you that have been around me for a little bit, what pattern do you see happening here? What do you see taking place? What should we be doing right now, right there? Okay, Brenda, maybe. I'm looking for a little more depth than that. Awesome, John. John said he paper traded price line today with an out-of-the-money put, and he is up $7,700. That is fantastic. All right, so what I'm looking for, I'm not seeing it. What I'm looking for from you guys is this. An elongated H pattern. Yeah, and that's where, who was the first one to type in? That's where Brenda had gone with the H pattern. And it's kind of, remember guys, it hit this 618 and it's rolled over. The perfect H hits the 618 and we get a two-line move, at least, right? So what I'm looking for, or what I was looking for, is my box of neutrality, right? The rectangle. All right, so I went to the very bottom here instead of trying to pick up these wicks, which I always want to incorporate if at all possible, because that pattern or that candle where we started out was right about that same point. Actually, can we? Yeah, it's not helping me much. Okay. So, well, actually, we can stretch it down a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. So basically what happened was we're running a channel inside of this box from 551 up to 583. So really nice move potential inside of that box. And even if you didn't get it into the rectangle, even if you just caught that we were channeling around these two Fibonacci lines from 556 up to 575, you're still looking at 9 points of move. So guys, you know, when I look at this, and the potential is if we pull back to the moving average and bounce, we could take the bullish trade. But when it does what it did today, could you just go ahead and take a bearish trade on the downside? And look, if you got in at the 583 half level, it moved down to 575-ish today. You got an 8-point move intraday on Amazon that you could have easily picked a little bit of profit up on. You know, if we go and look, let's go take this one to a 5-minute chart. All right, so actually let's do this. Before we look at the 5, we need the rectangle numbers. All right, so top number is 583.54. Oh, there's the failure, guys. Watch it. It's going. So 583.54, 583 half is all I'm worried about. Right there, 583 and a half. So on the open, we gapped up just like the Dow did, just like the S&P did, and then we failed. We got a nice rollover, and that rollover came right down through, and there was a great opportunity to take that bearish trade, and we went from 584 down to 576, 8 points in a matter of 25 minutes, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, we'd made that entire move. Is that right? Yeah, it looks like 20 minutes. Yep, that's 9:30, the big red candle. So very nice setup. We're rolling over right now. It looks like if we go off of the pattern, we violated the up pattern. Moving averages are crossing. We're looking at a potential bearish move today. So guys, if you're looking at, so where do I go ahead and look to take this trade down till? If you took it right here, a little far away from the moving average, but you have to make that call. How aggressive of a trader are you that you're trying to jump out there and pull this thing in now before it actually retests the moving average? I'm not saying you're wrong. You just have to decide what are you going to do. The next thing is it looks like there's some potential support right here where we violated that moving average and bounced through that 8. And then there's definitely support down in here. So just be cautious of those levels as you go through this pattern. If you're looking to trade this today, this on a 5-minute, if you're looking to trade this today, what are your rules? What are you looking for? How much are you doing to focus on looking left? To look to the very left of your screen, see exactly what's going on, and being able to, you know, capitalize on that trade. We've got 345 left in this candle, guys, and it looks like we're going to push. Right now, if we stayed where we are, we're below that low of where it tagged the 8 and the 21. Actually, the yellow is 21. But where it tagged that level, we're right there. Cool. So let's see. So Brenda, I hope that helped. And then Pamela was asking, so Butch said there's a pivot point on Amazon on 577 and a half. So let's look at that, Butch. Let me bring pivots in. So we're going to insert a study. Good pivot. It's going to shorten the chart up. So right there, Butch. And, you know, ironically, it's not very far down below that previous low. We had the lower low before it, the lower low back here. So that 577, 578, we'll call it, from 580. You've got a $2.50 move before we get down to a pivot, which can be some potential support for us. So Patty said, you used to say that you get up on trading days at 7 a.m. besides watching the YM is that what you do in the market analysis, or do you fill out your tracking sheet every day for yourself? So Patty, my mornings are the actual trade. I'm not usually filling the sheet out during the day. Whenever possible, I try to do my tracking sheet at night. And, you know, guys, we have, for those of you that don't know what Patty is referring to there, I have a sheet that looks like this, that we list all the targets out, all the stocks we're looking at. We give a bias, the bullish and bearish targets, and then whatever notes we're taking. So Patty, I like to fill this out in the evenings instead of during the day. Right, no, I'm getting to that part of the question. I understand you, but I fill it out in the evenings. The second part of Patty's question was, do you fill it out every day? Yes, I fill it out every day at night. So during the day then, Patty, what I would be doing is if in the market insights, when I did my last update, right, if I had listed a key level, as an example, if we had gone through, and we didn't do this, we didn't draw the rectangle on Amazon, but had I drawn this rectangle on Amazon, I would have gone to Amazon's chart this morning, and I would have had a point at 584, and I'm just writing the numbers down so I don't forget them, and 552 is close enough. I'm not at a stock this high a price, I'm not really that worried about pennies. So I'll go to the 5-minute chart. So let's delete that out of there. That line should only be used for 100-point price levels. All right, so I'm going to draw a line at 584 and 552. So we come down here to 552, we're going to snap another line. Nope, still don't have enough room for it. You know what, let me just put it there. I'll edit it and I'll just change it to 552. All right. So now it's off the page. We're not seeing it. It's down here. But that right there then, Patty, represents my rectangle. Yes, I'm not going to use that bottom line today, but it's there. All right. So now, as we came back, Patty, and pushed up into that level, I was looking for resistance at that point. We pushed up, we came down to the moving average, we pushed up again, we came down, up again. So if you hadn't taken it earlier on, I mean, it's showing you the weakness in here as we're getting that sideways, and certainly as we cross down to the moving average with multiple tests of that 584 level, we want to look at the potential bearish trade. And then other technicals, you know, we've got some resistance right in here, or possibly right here, of where the stock is at now. So if we look at this previous high, you can see that's where we are right now, right in that general area. So I do, Patty, fill out the tracking sheet every day. In the morning, I'm usually up at 6 a.m. This morning, I am responsible for emails going out to BetterTrades people at 4:30 a.m. Because just couldn't sleep, way too much stuff going on. Felt like it was 100 degrees upstairs today. It's just a lot warmer than I had hoped it to be at this time of the year. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. And then at, you know, by 7 o'clock, I'm sitting in my sauna this morning with my laptop, looking at YM and looking to trade the market this morning. So yes, tracking sheet every day, trading every day in the morning, but starting at about 7 o'clock. And those of you that are sitting here saying, but Rob, you can't trade at 7 o'clock. The market doesn't open unless you're doing that pre-market trading stuff. No. We're trading futures, guys. That's what I'm referencing there. When I talk about trading before the market opens, I'm trading the futures. For me, I am trading on the YM, which is the Dow. And this is the position I am trading right there. And you could trade this thing. It opened up yesterday. Yeah, I know yesterday was Sunday. It opened up yesterday at 6 o'clock, 1800 right there. Slow drift and grind up, good push, end of the night, and then that failure at 4 a.m. We just died. Okay, Joseph, we'll get to that one. Patty says, thank you very much. You have to get the exercise and sauna in now. Oh, yeah, no, got to get it in. I'm getting on an airplane today, so had to do it early. So, but I had done most of my work by 7 o'clock already this morning because I was up so early. By the way, good again, John, good trade on price hunt. I'm just happy for you, $7,000. Cool. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a pop now on the YM, guys. The first test is going to be right here at that recent high. See if it fails at that level. All right, so let's go look at the next stock. All right, so let me switch back off this template back to here. There we go. All right, daily chart there. So we were looking at Amazon. Let's go to Netflix. Pamela was asking for. All right, so Netflix. Guys, love the stock. Great trading company. You know, it's a $100 stock that moves 3% a day. How do you fight that, right? 339 a day is the average. It was moving a lot more. We were up in January to about $6.50 a day, which was almost a little too aggressive. Let's go ahead and draw a fib right in here. I'm just going to stretch it all the way out to the right. And it's going to get it pulled out past our lines. Okay, so what's happening right now? We've pushed our heads multiple times right up into that 101 level. We should have a horizontal line drawn at 100 as well. So you can modify yours all the time. I would just rather make sure I grab the right line. And I'm just going to change it to a $100 level. Perfect. So when I looked at Netflix yesterday, I just gave it a day trade for the setup, guys, and the question comes down to the same thing of, did it open up anywhere, clear and concise entry to say we should take this trade on an intraday basis? It did. If you're looking for a bounce off of that 21, not really my style of trade, but if you like it, that's exactly what we're looking for there. I'd be careful with these tops we're approaching right now. You could almost draw another box of neutrality right around that area of congestion. So I'd be a little bit careful on the Netflix stock. Costco. C-O-S-T. Costco, we have a very old Fibonacci drawn. Right back from that wick way down yonder. Let's see, we're going to grab it right there, and this one's going all the way up. Not my favorite pattern. Let's just pull it out. Not my favorite stock to draw it on, the pattern that it's presenting, because we had this multiple stair steps in there, right, before we ran out. So I would rather have it be a little bit cleaner, but I've tried to get the market maker to do what I want, and he doesn't seem to feel that he needs to comply. So once again, guys, if you look at this daily chart, it's just been sideways. We are in that major transition period right now in the market with the SPX that, go back, All right, good little push up, and look where we are, right back up to resistance. It's 5 minutes. Let me go look at the daily. So we're in that transition phase. We had a nice breakout above the moving average, you know, 2 weeks back. We got above the downtrend line, came back, tested the moving average, the 8 and the downtrend line, and bounced. Give me the bounce, and it's clear the downtrend is moved away, at least for right now. If we violate and get back into this downtrend, it may continue a new leg down from that point. So when you look at that and you see what's going on, and it's okay, get that out of there. We'll go back in and look at, who was it we just had up there? Costco, right? Let's get the daily chart. Okay. You get back to this and you look at all this sideways commotion, and it's no wonder that I gave it a day trade yesterday and said I'm not interested in this one right now. It's kind of ugly, actually. Let's see. All right, you're welcome, Debbie. I appreciate it. All right. So, guys, we're going to get to as many of them as we can. I know some of you guys are still typing in. Alcoa, AA. I still have not checked. Does anybody know the earnings date for Alcoa? It should be coming up January, February, March, April, around April 11th-ish. Does anybody know what that date is? If you do, just, no SAA, just AA. Just let me know. All right, let's try that one more time. Maybe we can get our fingers right. There we go. Alcoa, is it the 11th, Donna? Thank you. Donna Check said the 11th. Deborah said the same thing. So, guys, just always do your own research, obviously. But Alcoa is the stock that we consider to be the unofficial start of earnings season, right? So that one's coming out, as you said, the 11th. I don't know if it's confirmed, tentative, or what. They're usually pretty good with their dates. But right now, just in that same sideways move, guys, you could snap a rectangle right around this whole congestion here, that kind of compression pattern that's setting up in there. And just a tough stock, with it being as low price as it is, there's just not a lot of wiggle room for move. So let's see. We're looking for a move in here from 926 to 1022. So not bad. It's about $1. On my major fib lines, though, it's way too small of a number. About 40 cents, 50 cents, 40 cents. In here, it's way too small of a number, 48 cents. All right, so Alcoa. We already did Netflix. Fred asked about that one as well. And then let's do Facebook. All right, so Facebook, great move to the upside, really nice run. You're quite welcome, Joseph. Really nice run, pressing right into the 886. First test of that level, see if it, not 886, sorry, the 118. First test of that level, we'll see if it fails right there. But Facebook's got some nice potential to it. We're bullish, actually. Let's see, targets for Facebook were 114, yes. So, let me see. We're already up a little bit on Facebook. We're up $600 before today in a non-funded account. Today's trade, we got into this in Facebook at 108.5. And now today we'd be out at 113.5. Right, from 8.5. $500, $5 move on 3 contracts, another $1,500 or so, $1,200 on our next leg. So we're up over $2,000 on Facebook, this rinky-dink little $100 stock. So very exciting. We've got an open trade on it. I'd be cautious to try to take a trade now with the run we've had. Our original entry on Facebook was March 11th. Mama's birthday. Right there. So we caught a good piece of that run. And we've made about a two-line move, two standard deviation move. Very nice. Facebook. Norman's asking for Apple. Apple. We did not have an open trade on Apple. That was Amber I'm thinking of. So Apple we're looking at as potentially an aggressive entry, just a small number of contracts. And again, it's this congestion pattern up here is what's doing it. So I would look at 108 and 111-ish as the upside targets, as the two upsides, okay? If we violate the 8, I would stay away from it except for a day trade. Same thing, getting really small moves on it right now. Everything has drifted off from the beginning of February. We spiked right up there and dropped right back down. And looks like it might even be lower than the norm. Tesla. We had a couple of you asking about Tesla. Joan and Butch were both asking about it right next to each other. You know, one response right underneath the other. Tesla, we opened up a bullish trade on Tesla, and it looks like we are going to be out of some of our Tesla trade. We took an aggressive trade. We had a target on Tesla of 231, so 231 a quarter, a dollar below. Actually, where was the opening price today? That's really where we're going to be out at today's open. Oh, wrong one. I wanted the data window. $231.61. So that was our first exit on Tesla, getting in at 226. We would have sold 2 contracts off today at that price point. So 26 to 30, open 31, $5, $5.50 move on 2 contracts. It's about $1,000, $1,100. So I like it. I like it. All right. So guys, if you're not in Tesla, I'd need to see a pullback to the moving average. We did get a retest and an opportunity to take the trade earlier. You're welcome, Joan. Yeah, great candidate, I'll tell you what. DC Jim, how you doing, buddy? What about ISRG, open interest and large bid by ask spread? Oh, absolutely, Jim. That is why we don't trade them in the market insights, is for that exact purpose, that exact reason. If we go down and look for the option chains, I'd love to trade them. I used to a long time ago. But you go to ISRG, and Jim said open interest and large bid by ask spread. So let's go at the money. 585 is what we'll focus on. April 1st, it's the first one available. 585 is 590 by, 580 by 640, which isn't too bad. Our open interest is 16. Darn. Okay. So let's go find something, nothing in green that's got enough open interest. Darn. Let's see. So you are going to run into some of that. Your bigger open interest is down here. Now, if you decide that you are a gamma trader, let's see if we can get anything for this month. Nothing for this week at all. Nothing for next week. Let's go look at the 15th, which gives us a little bit. So 1270 by 1380, $1.10 bid ask spread. Not too bad on some of them, right? But if you wanted to go out of the money a little bit and go to the 590s while we're trading at 584, you're looking at 920 by 990, 70-cent bid ask spread, 3,900 contracts. So the potential is there, but I am, just based on the option chain, Jim, that again, that's why we don't even trade it. I like the big ones. It's no different than going after CMG, right? Chipotle. I love them on multiple levels. But, get me down to that 480 level, So we'll go to first strike that's in the money, 477.5, 750 by 80, only 500, 50 cents spread, $500 on 10 contracts, but we have an open interest of 49. Now I can keep working my way out, but now I am $3 in the money on an option that expires in 4 days, and I'm looking at 9.5 to buy it for. So a little bit on the expensive side. You're quite welcome, Jim. So Sally said YM has made a doji. Let's go take a quick look. It has not quite at the C, right? A, B, C, but we did push up to where we originally started the ABC pattern from. Right in there. Let's see. Symbol. Okay, so Rose has, we already did Alcoa. I'll look at Lois. I didn't see that you had CMG in there. We'll take a look at that. That's probably going to be the last one we get to. But had Alcoa and X. Right, which is U.S. Steel. I used to do a lot of work with these guys in a previous life. Not a lot of wiggle room for me to draw Fibonacci, guys. You could see, well, a 5-minute chart. Let's go back to a daily chart. Sorry about that. Let's resize all this. All right, low price stock. It has made an amazing run from 7 to 16-ish in there. So I want to see, what do we have back there? You know, what do we have above that 16 level? Where is it? What is it? How important is it? I've seen all this congestion here is the first thing that catches my eye. So the first thing I'm going to do is snap a horizontal line up there. Now, I know there are some people right now that are sitting in here that are drooling as I just did that, because the belief is that's it, that's where it's going to next, and that might be a nice place for it to go, but it may have some hurdles along the way. So as an example, right here, let's see. Yeah, right between there, a good confluence in there of that zone. Right in there, we're going to have some hesitation. Other than that, I don't see it. So it looks like $16 where we're at. We can make it up to about 20 and 20 a quarter. Raymond said best YM trade so far this morning, $615. Thanks, Rob. You are quite welcome, sir. I'm excited for you guys. I love hearing about it. I really do. You guys are awesome. That is cool. All right, so Rose, U.S. Steel, nice move. You've got some levels to it. 20 bucks on the upside. I'd be watching that. 14 and a quarter on the downside. And then let's analyze CMG. We just went and looked at the option chain is all it was. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Had a meal there just a couple of days ago. I'm sure I will in a couple of days again. So we had a nice strong move to the downside. Chipotle had a false reversal, a false breakout right there at that 382 and failed. Right now it came down and it has kissed that 236 and rolled over. For those of you that remember what the 236 level is, it's hesitation. This is a hesitation point. So if you look at where we're at right now, guys, and if we're hesitating right there and we start to fail, this is a great opportunity for a bearish trade. Right, and if you're looking for something that's going to make a move from 478 down to 400, you're looking at a $100 move to the downside. That is, right, perfect falling through. There you go, Brenda. That is a great potential. Now, may it have some hesitation? It might. Huh. Yeah. Let me see something here. So Chipotle we're looking at, right? I just want to get a quick number on the Fibit. It's a lot easier for me to do it here. 34, almost $34 is the Fibit, right? So we're looking at 98. So 82 and 2. Yeah, there definitely needs to be a Fibit in there, Joseph. Absolutely. So we're going to apply a 118 into this, which is our Fibit. Don't think I did it right. Let's try that again. Yeah, it would help when I checked it if I did the 0.118. Okay, there we go. So there's a Fibit right there, and look where it's been, folks. Multiple, 2, 3 times right back to that same level. So if we do fail right here on Chipotle, guys, I'm looking at that 441 level and then about that 400 level for the next move. Lois, you said you got into Chipotle too early. Did you take a bullish or a bearish trade? Bearish? Okay, so you had a little bit of a recovery to deal with. Lois, can you tell me where you took it? What day? Great teaching example. If you don't mind sharing your pain, where did you take the bearish trade? Was it on the day I had my mouse on there, that last red candle? Was it to the right or left of it? You know, that was on the 18th. Yes, that was it? Okay. So, guys, this is a lot of times it happens. We get a candle pushes down on a gap, comes back up, it just about tested, big failure, and then someone will take that continuation the next day. I'm not saying it's a bad place to take it. It's a bad place to take it if you can't take the heat. Literally, you've got to be able to take the heat in this trade. And what I mean by that is, yes, it ran down, but you know, if you caught it here, it's awesome. But it doesn't matter if you caught it there, because by the time it's pressed back up here, you are freaking out. So it's only one put. You've got one contract, Lois, which is good. You've got small risk in the trade, but it is Chipotle. So there's still a couple of dollars involved no matter what, expiring into April. Yeah, so you've got a few dollars in the trade, but you had to deal with this retracement, this reversal. You would have been much better off waiting for the close here and either taking this day here or let it close here and roll over. And you did what you did, Lois. I'm not picking on you. There are many traders that are that breakout trader and do extremely well. I don't personally. I do better as a retracement than I do as a breakout for me personally. So, and Lois said I may add to my position if it breaks down. And that is a trading methodology of, you know, I got in a little bit early, so I'll add to it as it shows some more weakness now at a little bit of a higher price and maybe make up a little bit on what I gave back and just kind of reduce your cost basis. Once again, it's a strategy. Use it or not is truly up to the individual trader. Doesn't fit my personality because I'm always thinking that I'm throwing good money at bad, and I start to question whether it's a good trade anymore, and maybe I should just get out, right? So I'm a little bit leery for me in there. All right, guys, I know there are a lot of you that are in here that are brand new, and tonight we have a free workshop called Options 101. Bill Corcoran is going to be teaching that workshop. Phenomenal online workshop, guys. I think it's at 7 o'clock this evening. And go ahead, I think it's 7, it might be it, but check the times. You can go to the BetterTrades.com website, check the times for it, and come and hang out. If you really want to learn the basics of options, of what they are and how they work and how to trade them, Bill's going to teach you that this evening. He's doing this class about once a month right now. So by all means, guys, come on in, hang out with us. If you like what you saw today, come into the E-mini Trader Talk or come into the Market Insights with us. I mean, without getting too deep into the open positions we have, because we do have a few. Guys, there's our profit for this year, $397,015. We got 10 grand open profit in the trades we have open right now. And from January 28th to 14, we're up 2,878,106,000, not dollars, right? So come on, hang out with us. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern, Jeff, is when we do the E-mini think tank. So I appreciate you clarifying that. All right, Brenda said, great class. It was, guys. I got to jet because I've got another meeting to catch before I go catch my flight. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, you have been absolutely awesome. I want to wish you all the best of luck. God bless. And come on back tonight, guys, and go hang out with Bill on Options 101. All right, take care, folks. See y'all soon. Thanks, guys. Bye now.